So, General Math students, we're going to continue our study of sequences that involve arithmetic and geometric components at the same time. We're going to look at this example with a church membership, and we're going to be doing some graphing here. So fire up the TI Inspire. We're going to use that to assist us. Okay, so this church has a membership of 120 people. It increases by 20% each year, so that percentage increase will be 120% of the previous year, okay, which we convert to a decimal. So we take the current term and multiply it by that to get to the next term. Alright, now we have 30 people who are leaving, so we're going to subtract 30 as well. The first term, the current membership, is 120 people. I'm going to call that T0 this time. The reason for that is because this is the membership at the beginning at 0 years. So if we call it T0, it lines up the number of years with the number of terms. So we're asked in part B to generate the first 6 terms of the sequence. Let's use the calculator to do that. But in fact, we'll go to 10 terms, or well, actually, yeah, it'll be 10 terms because we're going to do a graph for up to 10 years here. Just reading ahead a little bit. So this is the button we want, this green one. Okay, I'm going to type some information in here. So up the top I'm going to put the heading years. You don't need to put such elaborate headings like these. You can just put X and Y so long as you remember what they are. But I'll put years and membership just for the video. Okay, I'm going to put up to 10 years here, so I'll start with 0 and then 1. Now, rather than typing those all out, I'm going to try this. Shift down, and I'll highlight them both. And I'll go Menu, Data, and Fill. And if we tap down the calculator, we'll know that we want it to continue counting down, or counting up for us down the column. Okay, then the membership. We start with 120 people. Now in the next cell, we'll work out the membership after 1 year using a formula. So it's equal to, percentage increase is 1.20 times, now we're going to take this cell here, which is B1. Cell B1, the number in there please, will you multiply that by 1.20, then subtract the 30. So we're just modelling our difference equation in that cell, and our first term is up above. So after 1 year, the membership is 114 people. Now we're not going to type that formula for every cell, we're going to use the fill function. So Menu, Data, Fill, and we'll go down to here and push Enter, and there is the membership level. So here we can just see the first 6 terms, 120, 114, 106.8, 98.16, 87.792, and 75.3504. So, I won't write them down on the PowerPoint, but those are the first 6 terms for Part B. Okay, Part C, we're asked to plot the graph on the calculator and make a sketch. So let's go back, and we'll go to this screen here and choose the pink one. And I'm going to click down here and I'll put years, the independent variable there, and membership up here, and we'll see this shape for the graph. So we just want to mimic this general shape on our graph. Okay, now you can see that I deleted the picture of the church here so that I could go into the negatives. I'm going to start halfway up on the graph. Okay, and we'll see why that is later on, but I just want to mimic the general pattern of this. So we get to the 8th year here and we're still in the positive. Just 2, 3, 4. I might just do those ones again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the last 2 are in the negative. And we can see that that pattern is kind of the same. Close enough, we'll say. Now we've got to label 2 of our points, right? So I'll just hover over this one. That is 1 and 114. So 1 year, 114. Actually, I might just do that underneath, because we are going to need to do another graph soon, as you'll see. And then I'll label another point. That's what we're meant to do. I'll go down to these ones. What is it? 8 and 21. 8 and 21. Okay. Oh, and we'll also need to put years down here for our x-axis. Don't forget to label that. Righto. Now, in Part D, what would happen if the membership could be increased to 30%? So we'll use the calculator to help us with this. Well, firstly, though, I might just write down a bit of a difference equation. You might want to pause the video and try this yourself first. The difference equation this time, well, it's a percentage increase of 30%, so this becomes 1.30, right? We're still losing 30 people, and our first term is still 120. Okay, so we'll go back to the calculator. I'm going to go Control left, get back to this screen. Okay, now I'm going to put a new membership column for this change situation up here. I'll call it membership 2. And in this case, we start with 120 again, but in this cell, we put the new formula for our difference equation. We're going to put C1 because that's the one above here now, C1. We take 30, and there we actually see an increase in membership. Okay, let's fill this down. Menu, data, fill. We'll go down to the same number of years, and the membership's increasing. Wow. Okay, so let's see what that looks like on the graph. Let's go back to our graph, Control right. Now, what we need to do, we want to have membership, we want to keep that one, but we also want membership 2, the new membership, to be here as well. So we're going to go Menu and Plot Properties, number 2. And we're going to add a Y variable. We're adding another variable to our Y-axis. And that is going to be membership 2. And so the calculator will work that out for us, and there it is. So basically just seeing an increase that's sort of, like a mirror image of the decrease. All right, so let's put that on the graph. I'll put that in red. Okay, so it pretty much starts at the same spot, but we just get this increase in the opposite direction. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So let's label a couple of these points. This one can be 10 and 375. That'll do. Okay, that doesn't look very good, does it? Try that again. And any other point, about 4. Whoops, what have I done there? I might just leave that one because for some reason I'm shifting him around. I might just have to label the very first point because I've mucked that up a bit there, sorry. So I'll just label this one 0 and 120, probably a good one to show the starting point anyway. Okay, so the last thing here, what should the rate of new membership be if an equilibrium is desired? So we're talking about the rate, the R value. So if we've got a difference equation, okay, I'm going to switch to green for this one, where Tn+1, now we have a rate that we want to figure out, and we're still losing 30 people, all right? And our first term is still 120 people. So we want to figure out what rate would be required in order to have the same number of people in the church each year. So we're going to start with 120. So oops, just go back to green there. So 120 in this year. So R times 120 people, take 30. Now we also want the next year to be 120 people. So we want our Tn+1 to be the same as our Tn from the previous year. So if we rearrange this, take the 30 over and add it. So 120 plus 30, and then we divide by the 120. That gives us 150 over 120, right? So 150 divide 120, 1.25. Now what is that as a percentage increase? 1.25 is 25%. So if they want to have the same number of people in the church each year, given that 30 will be leaving, then you want a rate to the increase to be a 25% increase. Okay, a big long example there. So go ahead and try the questions in the description for the video.